This week we are going to discuss how spirituality and religion fit into identity and relate to counseling. Before we start, let's take a minute to define some important terms. Spirituality is a central philosophy of life which guides conduct and is at the core of the individual's existence, transcending physical, emotional, intellectual, moral, ethical, volitional, and social dimensions. Religiosity is a bit different and is defined as an expression of one's spiritual perspective and refers to an external format system of beliefs, values, rules of conduct, and rituals. A key difference between spirituality and religion is that spirituality is something that is within the person. It is at the core of the person's existence, as the definition states. Religiosity, on the other hand, is an expression of spirituality and has an external guiding system involved in it, such as organized religion. Taylor tells us that religion plays an important and influential role in every culture known. I like this quote because it reminds us that religiosity can be an important part of many people's identity because of the strong role that it plays in culture. And when we think of the impact of religion, especially throughout history, we see that it can have an impact that we would consider positive, most likely. For example, providing community, a sense of belonging, affirmation, giving people a method for self-reflection and considering meaning, providing ways of coping with stress or loss or other difficult situations. Religion also provides guidelines for moral behavior and how we should treat each other. It can give people an additional aspect of identity development and often provides stability and continuity. Although on the other side, religion has been the cause of many wars, conflicts, and other violence, and can be divisive. Sometimes religion is posed as a situation where it is them versus us, where we are right and everyone who does not share our group belief is wrong. And it can also be the root of identity conflict. For example, if someone is told that what he or she is wrong according to the rule of the faith. Aspects of religion and spirituality appeal to many of us, and Kennedy here broke down 5 themes in religion and spirituality that many of us find appealing, depending on our own personal preferences and identity. One aspect of spirituality and religion that some of us find appealing is that some parts of it are mystical. It allows for seeking an underlying connection with all things, including a higher power, nature, and other people that transcends time, space, and our traditional 5 senses. Another aspect is that religion, probably more so than spirituality, has some authoritarian aspects to it. For those of us who like structure and rules, this can be helpful. Although this structure is what has the potential to put people at odds with each other, in some cases. Also, religion and spirituality provide us with social community. We can seek to be connected to others who share our beliefs and values. Religion and spirituality also provides a platform to serve others. In fact, many religious groups see service as a form of their spiritual expression. Finally, there are aspects of religion and spirituality that are intellectual. People can become scholars of their faith by analyzing writings, history, and theories. Particularly in those denominations that have long written histories, people can really immerse themselves in learning if that's what they're interested in. This is a scale that is designed to measure religious importance. If you take a look at the questions, you can get a sense of your own feelings of the importance in religion or faith in your own life. At this point, please pause the presentation and take a minute or 2 to answer these questions for yourself. What are your spiritual or religious beliefs? How has spirituality or religion shaped you? What is the role of your practices and traditions in your identity development? What does it provide for you? And how much do you know about other religious groups and spiritual philosophies? You don't need to share this information with anyone. Just take a minute and self-examine. Doing so, taking the time to self-examine your own feelings and perspectives of your own spirituality and/or religion is really critical to do before we discuss the role of religion and spirituality in counseling. As for the role of spirituality and religion in counseling, we have to acknowledge that this is a multicultural issue. As we said earlier, faith-based beliefs play a strong role in many cultures. As you read in the posted chapter, we have seen an increase in the availability of assessments that we can use to help ourselves integrate religious and spiritual beliefs into counseling and healthcare provision. In the U.S., Pew studies have suggested that approximately 95% of Americans believe in God or another higher power. This underscores the importance of counseling being competent to address these issues if clients wish to integrate them into counseling or therapy. ASERVIC, or the American Association for Spiritual, Ethical, or Religious Values in Counseling, which is a division of the American Counseling Association, has put forth these competencies as listed on the slide. Understand the meanings of spirituality versus religion, describe beliefs and practices within a cultural context, explore and describe your own belief system, which is something that I just asked you to do, demonstrate acceptance and sensitivity to a variety of forms of religious or spiritual expression, assess and appropriately respond to spiritual domains expressed by clients, and use the client's spiritual beliefs in pursuit of their goals in counseling. This association, ASERVIC, strongly believes in the importance of integrating spiritual and religious values into counseling and suggests that these points are necessary for counselors who wish to become competent in doing so. Additional training beyond the scope of this class might help you become more competent in this area if this is a line of counseling that you wish to pursue. Looking at client preferences, we really have limited information about how clients regard the idea of incorporating religion or spirituality into counseling. Diallo did a survey with clients involved with substance abuse treatment and was about respondents' willingness to discuss spirituality. Respondents really expressed a willingness to talk about these issues as long as the counselor was knowledgeable about their beliefs or religion. Having this knowledge or understanding about the client's beliefs was actually more important than the counselor having the same beliefs. Diallo also found that older clients were more willing to speak about religious or spiritual issues. We also know that religiosity and spirituality are related to coping. They have been identified as a primary coping resource in the literature among individuals dealing with chronic illness or disability. In correlational studies, we see an inverse relationship with loneliness, and that gives us a sense of social support, related to a decreased fear of death, decreased discomfort associated with a medical condition, and increased emotional adjustment. We also see that religiosity or spirituality is related to increased feelings of power and control, and that they serve as a moderator, which means something that can indirectly influence illness-related stressors. Finally, as a pattern, we see that those who are given a terminal prognosis often report increased spiritual activity. This information, I think, is really interesting and helpful when we think about what role spirituality or religiosity could possibly play in the life of a client. Looking at another important area, quality of life, we see that spiritual well-being has been linked with enhanced quality of life, emotional well-being, and physical functioning. We also see that spiritual well-being has been linked to life satisfaction among individuals with progressive disabilities, right along with hope, acceptance of disability, and personal characteristics. Just like the last slide, this information, I think, helps us to understand that spirituality can be important to people and is an area that, as counselors, we really can't ignore. So finally, after reading the articles that I posted and the chapter and getting through this presentation, I'd like you to answer question number 9. You can just upload this document, your answer, right to the link in the folder like we've done in the past. I would like your question answered to encompass 3 points. 1, how might the spiritual beliefs of the client play a role in your counseling? What role do you see your spirituality playing in your approach to counseling? And how do you anticipate addressing differences in beliefs between you and future clients? Once you've done this, please have it uploaded to the Blackboard link, and this question will be due December 5th at midnight.